Hello, folks! The news on the town is that the MAGA supporters are rapidly turning away from Donald Trump. These are the people who were Trump's biggest supporters throughout his political journey, which is, by the way, no less than a theatrical comedy itself. This diminished backing happening in 2024 carries even larger significance, because this is the year the US is going to conduct its 60th presidential election. Trump being a presidential candidate is in dire need of support, not only from the GOP, but also from the supporters who once trusted him with their dream of making America great again. But it looks as though that dire need of Trump's is not being met. Sad life, Mr. Not-So-Future President.
Climb. Hey, what's going on?
Looks like President Donald Trump's popularity is about as low as his limbo skills at a pancake party. In that MAGA movement, let's just say it's as popular as a mosquito in a nudist colony. According to reports in a recent poll, only 24% of folks are giving it a thumbs up, while a whopping 45% are giving it the old stink eye. Probably people voting in this poll weren't trying to tell Mr. Trump that.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Oh, and probably this was the number Trump had always talked about.
Let's run through the numbers.
A negative number.
The lowest number ever.
A catastrophically low number.
A very, very small number. A small number.
A great show of this low number happened this Monday, April 15th, 2024, when a gaggle of Donald Trump devotees gathered in a park. They were there to soak up the historical vibes, witnessing the premier criminal trial of a former American president, now adorned with the badge of honor as his party's nominee. But this was just the trailer. Wait for what happened afterwards.
Wait!
In the past, Trump could always bank on his supporters showing up in droves, whether it was his iconic rallies or the chaotic Capitol fiasco. But on Monday, at this crucial juncture for the MAGA movement and Trump's campaign, the faithful seemed oddly muted. I guess even the most ardent fans need a nap day. Good work, ex-Trump fans. Have a peaceful sleep. Another reason behind this loss of MAGA supporters for Trump could be the launch video of President Joe Biden, who made Trump and his movement the centerpiece of his re-election launch video on Tuesday. Biden in his video says that MAGA extremists are lining up to take those bedrock freedoms away. Biden and his fellow Democrats often use the term MAGA as a catch-all to describe pro-Trump Republicans who embrace the former President Trump's more extreme positions, including his false claims that the 2020 election was stolen. Seems like Biden surely knows how to play the game.
It's called soccer. Go USA. You guys are gonna do it.
Let's see what else is happening that's causing this slump in Trump supporters behind the scenes. Well, there isn't much behind the scenes because apparently the whole world knows about the charges Trump is facing. For the past year, pundits and analysts have been doing mental gymnastics over what would happen if Donald Trump got caught in the legal crosshairs before the big election, facing enough felony charges to fill a bingo card.
You know, I always thought this whole investigation was a nothing burger, but now it's starting to feel like a
Michael Morley, a law professor at Florida State University, says, "If nothing else, wading through the murkiness of Trump's eligibility shows how confusing it is for people with prior convictions, as well as those facing trial in a state other than the one they vote in, to figure out whether they can cast a ballot." Dan Barker, a leader in the Maricopa County LDS community and former GOP-appointed judge, said, "That's one of the main reasons we did it, so that people would know that you could be a conservative and vote for Biden because you did not find Trump acceptable. And Biden was somebody that you can vote for. You don't have to agree with every position he takes." Adding to all that, the crumbling of Trump's beloved white working class base is surely a devastating blow to his hopes of snagging another term in office. Just take a gander at the tables below, showcasing the cracks in his armor across 4 critical fronts: voting intentions, evaluations of his oh-so-majestic presidency and character, and let's not forget the scathing reviews of his handling of those oh-so-important issues. Come on, have a look at what this news respondent, Beth Prevost from Connecticut, said about Trump. You can recover from bad policies, but you can't recover from a bad heart, and Donald Trump has a bad heart. In the realm of national security, Trump has often aligned himself with America's traditional adversaries, thereby upsetting, angering, or confusing a key electoral cohort. This has left a certain demographic scratching their heads, shaking their fists, or just plain befuddled. You see, there's this group of seasoned Republicans who still have Reagan's speeches echoing in their ears, envisioning the good old USA as that shiny beacon of freedom perched high on the hill for all to admire. For them, Russia isn't just a chess piece. It's the opponent from those Cold War days, etched in their memories like a bad tattoo. These Republicans largely find Russia's full-scale invasion of democratic Ukraine unacceptable. One recent survey found that 43% of Republicans believe the US is providing either too little or the right amount of aid to Ukraine. They certainly do not approve of Trump's threats to abandon the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and even encourage Russian aggression against members that do not meet their military spending obligations. Trump's affinity for authoritarian states, from Russia to Hungary to Saudi Arabia, is anathema to them. Look how blatantly he refuses to face all such realities of losing support from everywhere.
It was not a rigged election. It was not a stolen election. You and your supporters lost more than 60 court cases on the election. It's been nearly 2.5 years. Can you publicly acknowledge that you did lose the 2020 election?
Let me just go on. If you look at True the Vote, they found millions of votes on camera, on government cameras, where they were stuffing ballot boxes.
What you just said there, Republican officials debunked those claims about fraudulent ballots. We want to give you a chance tonight.
Who?
Republican officials in Georgia and every single state. There is no your own election officials, Mr. President. So we wanted to give you a chance.
People were afraid to take on the issue. All you have to do is take a look at government cameras. You'll see them. People going to 28 different voting booths to vote, to put in 7 ballots apiece.
But Mr. President,
and they're all
I
on
have
camera.
to stop you there because there is no evidence of that. Your own election officials testified to that and have said that Republicans in these states did this. In Georgia, there were multiple recounts, including a hand recount.
Since Trump made his grand entrance onto the political stage back in 2016, the GOP has undergone a bit of a makeover. Picture it, they're older, whiter, more male, and a tad bit more extreme. Oh, and let's not forget, they've downsized too. With Trump cozying up to his base like a little kid with their security blanket, it's like trying to throw a party without inviting anyone but your imaginary friends. Good luck snagging those moderate and independents when you're painting the town red with your far-right pals. Meanwhile, old Joe Biden's got a bigger pool of potential voters to swim in. Not that winning's a walk in the park for him, mind you, but hey, at least he's got some wiggle room if a few folks decide to Netflix and chill instead of hitting the polls. If Trump wants a shot at victory, he's gonna need every GOP supporter to crawl out from under their rock and cast their ballot. Plus, he's gotta charm those undecideds who've been giving him the cold shoulder, and not just because of his charming personality, which he lacks, but also because of his policies. Following his defeat in the 2020 election, Trump's post-election antics took an unprecedented turn when he not so subtly nudged his supporters towards storming the Capitol in a frenzied attempt to overturn the results. Now, you'd think a reality check like that might lead someone to tone down the rhetoric, maybe even do a little bit of introspection. But not our man Trump. Instead of hitting the brakes on his wild ride, he revved the engine, taking the express lane to extremism. He recently threatened the whole nation, saying that there would be a bloodbath if he didn't win. If this trend continues, it's like shooting himself in the foot with a cannon for Trump. Why? Well, imagine you're throwing a party, but instead of attracting guests, you're scaring them off with your outlandish behavior. If even a fraction of Republican voters decide they'd rather sit this one out than hitch their wagon to the Trump train, well, he might find himself not just knocking on the White House door, but pounding on it in vain. Because, let's face it, there's only so much appetite for his brand of politics, and it seems the buffet line is getting shorter by the day.